Hello, everyone. Welcome to our DMT5 live webinar. My name is Federica, and I'm part of the marketing team here at Deriv. Today, we'll be taking you through the feature and products and tradable assets of the DMT5 platform. Our product experts are Aglos and Aidan from the Deriv trading team. As usual, after the webinar, we'll be kicking off with our Q&A session. So please feel free whenever you have a question to start typing into the Q&A tab. We will select as many as we can and answer your questions live. So I guess we're all ready to start and all set. So I'll pass the word on to Aidan and enjoy the webinar.
Good morning. So yeah, I'm going to be walking you through the DMT5 platform and the products as well. So I'm going to start off by sharing a presentation.
Hi everyone, and welcome once again to today's webinar. I'd like to start out by thanking you all for taking the time to join us here today. My name's Aidan and I'm part of the trading team here at Deriv, and my job today is to walk you all through the MT5 platform as we look at some of the key features and products available. To start off with, let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about today. First of all, we'll be going through the MT5 platform itself as we look at some of the main features of the platform in more detail. Next on the agenda are the products. As you can see, I've split this up into two parts, the synthetic instruments and the financial instruments. And we'll be putting some of these products under the spotlight today. The aim here is to give you further insight into what makes these products tick and to give you a deeper understanding of their main features. So let's begin with the platform itself, which is arguably the most important tool available to traders. So the platform provides all the necessary features for successful online trading. It facilitates both fundamental and technical analysis of a wide variety of tradable assets, as well as offering automated trading, which are known as expert advisors on MT5. Here at Deriv, we offer three versions of the MT5 platform. You can trade from the desktop and web applications, and you can also trade from the in-demand mobile app, which has taken the world by storm in recent years. Here at Deriv, we offer CFDs, or margin trading, on a number of different assets on MT5, which allow our traders to take on larger positions in the market, depending on the leverage offered. Moving on to some of the key elements of the platform itself, which aim to make trading simple and easy. So first off, at the top, we have the main menu. All the functions of the platform can be found here, ranging from chart operations to analytical tools and an array of settings to give you an enjoyable trading experience. The toolbars are below the main menu and offer similar features to the main menu, but in a more customizable format. Here you can access various analytical tools, easily change the time frame of the active chart, and much more. So as you can see from the toolbar itself, you can also enable expert advisors. You can actually trade from the toolbar. You can change the different type of charts. You can also change access all the trading indicators and analytical tools as well. The Market Watch is arguably the most important part of the platform. Here you can see all the price data for the available instruments, and you can also access the contract specifications for all the individual assets, as well as one-click trading features. The Market Watch is also the place where you can download any tick data for all your instruments that are available on the platform. So the navigator allows you to switch between your accounts, and this is also where you can access your expert advisors and any trading indicators. The navigator also contains a list of add-on applications from the market or Coinbase which you may have purchased or added to your account. A technical analyst would be nothing without the charts, and MT5 offers you an extensive range of different technical indicators and analytical objects for performing technical analysis. So to open up the chart, simply go to the Market Watch click on one of the instruments, drag it into the chart window, and you'll open up a new chart. You can use the toolbar to access all the analytical objects and trading indicators that you would need to draw on your charts. The final element that we're going to be looking at today is the toolbox. And the toolbox has a number of different functions, providing access to open positions, the account history, news, and also the internal mailing system of the platform. Modification of orders and position management can also be done through the toolbox. Moving on now from the platform, let's take a look at the products which are available on MT5. So we'll start here first with the synthetic instruments. So these are proprietary instruments and were created by Deriv as an alternative to the real-world market. Prices for the different instruments are derived from a cryptographically secure random number generator. And here at Deriv, we aim to provide different assets to suit all different types of traders. And the various instruments in the synthetic asset class look to do exactly that. So the assets are split into different categories, with each category giving our traders a different user experience. You can trade on synthetic instruments on your DMT5 synthetic accounts with high leverage, tight spreads, and round-the-clock trading, as these assets are available 24/7. So, to give you an overview of all the assets we have available on the synthetic instruments class, we've got 4 different categories here. So, starting from the top, we've got volatility indices. As you can see, there are 10 instruments available there for trading. Under the crash and boom heading, we've got 4 instruments. Under the step indices, we currently only have 1. And under the range break indices, we've got a further 2 instruments. And now we're going to be looking at each of these instruments in a bit more detail. So to start off with, let's look at the volatility indices. Here you can see we've got 10 assets available for trading. And each of these assets correspond to a simulated market with a constant volatility. A short note about volatility. So this is the degree of variation of price over time. So this means that the higher the volatility, the more likely the price is to change. So if you take a look at the image on the left, you can see the 10 different assets. And for example, if we take volatility 10 index, the number 10 in the name corresponds to the constant volatility. So the 10 in this case would correspond to 10% volatility. The difference between the first 5 assets in green and the second 5 assets in green is the frequency of a new price generation. The first 5 assets have a new price generated every 2 seconds, and the second 5 assets in blue have a new price generated every 1 second. These instruments are also part of our IB commission scheme, and for more details about the IB commissions that we pay on these instruments, please visit our IB and affiliate page on our website. Moving on to the crash and boom indices, you can see the 4 assets we've got on the left, so the crash and boom 1000 indices and the crash and boom 500 indices. So just a brief description about the price patterns of these instruments. So there's an average of 1 drop, which we call a crash, or 1 spike, which we call a boom, in price that occurs every 1000 or 500 ticks. So the number in the name of the index refers to this number, or the average drop or spike that occurs in the price. So if we take boom 1000 index, for example, this would mean that there would be an average of 1 spike that occurs in the price every 1000 ticks. These instruments are available for trading now with a leverage of 1:400, and they're also part of our IB commission structure as well. And we pay 50 cents for the 1000 indices or 70 cents for the 500 indices for a $100,000 round trade. Just to give you an example of the price charts, you can see on the left-hand side the Crash 500 index. So you can see the price constantly rising and then suddenly crashing at random intervals. And on the right-hand side, you can see the Boom 1000 index, which uses similar logic, wherein the price is constantly moving downwards and randomly spikes up, as you can see from the chart. Moving on to the step index. Here, there is an equal probability of an up or down movement in the price, with each new price having a fixed step of 0.1, either up or down. The approximate leverage on this instrument is 1:4,000. And we also offer IB commissions on this instrument, where we pay 20 cents per 100,000 US dollar round trade. Moving on to the range break indices. We launched these early in 2020, so in around March of 2020. So they are the latest addition to our synthetic instrument offerings. So these indices fluctuate between two price levels that create a range, hence the name range break. So they occasionally break through the upper or lower price to create a new range, on average once every 100 or 200 times that they hit the borders. So just to explain this a bit more detail, as you can see from the price charts, which I've got on the screen now. So on the left-hand side, you can see the range break 100 index. So the price will fluctuate between a range, and once every 100 times that it hits the price border, it will either break out upwards or downwards at random intervals. Same thing with the range break 200 index on the right-hand side. Before we move on to the financial instruments, I'd like to make a short note here. At Deriv, we're constantly trying to expand our offerings and give clients and our traders something to look forward to. So with that in mind, we're going to be adding new instruments to our synthetic offerings very shortly. And we've got something which we're calling the Jump Index coming out in the coming weeks. So moving on to our final part of this webinar, we're going to be looking at the financial instruments. A brief overview of all the products we've got available as financial instruments on the DMT5 platform. So we go from Forex, where we offer major, minor and exotic pairs, as well as micro lots. We offer metals, we offer commodities, stocks, stock indices, cryptos, and smart FX indices. As you may have noticed, the smart FX indices I've highlighted here in red. Unlike the rest of the instruments in this list, the smart FX indices are proprietary indices, meaning that they are created by us here at Deriv. The remaining instruments that you can see on the list are real market symbols, which you can find available on our platforms. And these instruments are available for trading on DMT5 financial and financial STP accounts. Now we're going to be placing some of these products under the spotlight so we can take a closer look at them and look at them in further detail. And the products that we're going to be taking a closer look at are stocks, stock indices, cryptos, and the smart FX indices. So to start off with, let's take a closer look at stocks and stock indices. So we offer CFDs on a range of stocks, such as Apple, Google, Tesla, Pfizer, and many more. We currently offer up to 45 stocks from the US and EU stock markets, and we have plans to expand the stock offering in 2021. When it comes to stock indices, as you can see on the right-hand side, you can see the full list of offerings there, which range from the Australian index to EU indices, also the Japanese index, and also, last but not least, the three popular US indices. So US 30, US 100, and US 500. Currently, the stock indices are part of our IB commission plan, where we offer $2 per 100,000 volume round trade on the stock indices. We're also looking to include the stocks into our IB commission scheme. So keep an eye out on the website for more information about that in the coming weeks. A further note about stocks and stock indices. As you may or may not be aware, there are a vast number of stocks available in the market, and we are looking to expand our stock offering periodically throughout 2021. Moving on to cryptocurrencies. So currently cryptocurrencies are all over news headlines and everyone's talking about them. So we've made a few changes to our crypto offerings in recent weeks, and we've increased the leverage across all our cryptocurrency pairs. You can see the full list of offerings on the right-hand side, where we've added Binance Coin, Monero, and Zcash to our current offering. These instruments that you can see on the right-hand side are available on both financial and financial STP accounts on DMT5, and we've also revised the IB commission structure on these instruments. So keep an eye out on the website in the coming weeks for more details about IB commissions on cryptocurrencies. This is a class of very popular instruments at the moment. As I mentioned, they're all over the news. So the hype around cryptocurrencies is very much so pushing the instruments to become more and more popular day by day. Finally, let's talk a little bit about the SmartFX indices. So as I mentioned, these are proprietary instruments created by us here at Deriv. And these instruments look to measure the value of a single currency or gold in one of the cases against a basket of 5 global currencies, each weighted by 20%. So for example, the gold index measures the value of gold against USD, Euro, Australian dollar, Great British Pound, and Japanese yen, each weighted by 20%, as I mentioned. You can trade these now on DMT5 financial accounts with a leverage of up to 1:1000, and on the right-hand side, you can see the full list of offerings on SmartFX indices. As I previously mentioned, we're constantly looking to improve the experience on our platforms for our traders, as we look to increase the number of available instruments in our offerings throughout the asset classes.
Thank you, Aiden, for sharing the presentation. So before you continue with your live presentation now, I just wanted to remind our audience to start typing the questions in the Q&A tab. We already started to receive the first questions from the attendees, but as you have more, please feel free to type them in the Q&A tab. And we will, at the end of the webinar, we will reply to as many as possible. On to Aiden, you want to add something maybe?
So after the presentation, I'll pass the ball on to Agalos now to supplement anything that I've mentioned in the presentation.
Okay, hi from my side too. Just thank you for being here with us today. So a few notes from my side is like we're trying to constantly improve the offering of the assets for you and for our clients. We think that we offer a really generous IB commission scheme, especially for our synthetic products, but also for our financial products too. We're working constantly on improving the IB commission scheme, and we would like you to promote it and make it available to your clients. If you see something from other brokers, some symbols that you are interested, they're popular with your clients, you can always contact our marketing team, and they will transfer the request to the trading department, and we can consider adding it if you find that it's like something that is going to have to attract more clients, and of course you have some strong selling points. That should be all from my side too, and then I think we are ready to reply the questions now.
Okay, so let's start to the first questions of our attendees. One attendee is asking, when will NASDAQ be introduced on Deriv?
Okay, I can reply this question. So US 100 index I just presented to you is the NASDAQ index. So it's already there in MT5, available for trading.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question. I heard there's an additional pair that will be added on synthetic indices. What's the name of the pair?
I can answer this. So part of the presentation during the part about the synthetic indices, I mentioned at the end that we're constantly looking to expand our offering, especially on synthetic indices, as these are very popular with clients. So the next asset class that we're going to be launching is called the Jump Index. And there's going to be a range of assets under that class as well.
Okay, thank you, Aidan. On to the next question. What stock indices, which countries do we plan to offer in the future?
The list of offer stocks for CFD indices we have now is around 12 CFD indices. It's the most popular of them. We know that especially the US indices are popular among the traders. We have this list and we think it's like enough for now, but if you have any suggestions, then we can consider it in the future.
Okay. Another attendee is asking, what is the commission per round trade on US 100?
So I'll take this one. So the commission per round trade currently on all the stock indices it depends on the USD volume basically. So per $100,000 round trade, we offer $2 commission for our IBs.
Okay. We'll answer the next question. Where are the boom and crash coming from? Maybe Aggelos, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so the idea for all synthetics products is like we try to replicate some market characteristics. So in the markets, when especially there's some news or the important announcement, you usually see that there is a price jump or a price dip. So we try to replicate a similar behavior for a synthetic product. The idea is that if you trade, for example, Crash 1000, so there is a constant market trend, you know the market trend. There is an up trend and suddenly there is a drop on the price. Those are synthetic products, the same way that volatilities are synthetic products and range break and the step index we have. So the whole idea behind this is just to try to replicate some market characteristics.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Mostly when trading boom 500, 1000, stop loss is very effective. Why instead when trading crash 500, 1000, the stop loss is less effective?
Yeah, so I'll take this one on. We get a lot of queries about this actually. So basically the stop loss will work in the same way for across all the instruments. It might not be as effective. It might just be a perspective from the client. I mean, but yes, it does work in exactly the same way. So once the price is crossed, the stop loss order will be executed at the next available price.
If I may add to this, we have to define what means effective. Okay. For example, the execution happens on the available market price. So if we take Crash 1000 and there is a crash in the price, it means that the next available price maybe it's not exactly matching your stop loss. That's why traders sometimes they call this stop loss violation, but it's not a stop loss violation. What happens is like we execute the trade in the next available price. So the next available price is not exactly matching your stop loss. The same can happen with take profit too, right? It's not all about stop loss.
Thank you for the explanation. We have an attendee asking two questions at once. The first one is, when are you going to add weekly and monthly charts on tradingview.deriv.com? And the second one is, another problem I'm facing is that tradingview.deriv.com doesn't save the analysis. How can I solve this problem?
Yeah, well,
I can answer this one. So TradingView at the moment is being worked on and renovated. So we're working on these issues. We're aware of the fact that the indicators aren't saved, and this is a work in progress which we are trying to bring to the traders so that they can be able to perform their technical analysis more effectively. Can you remind me what the first part of the question was?
Sure. He's facing problem with the analysis, which is not being saved.
Okay.
Yeah. How can he solve this problem?
So that was the bit that I answered. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The other. Let me find it again. Sorry. When are you going to add the? I'm trying to look for it again. Okay, let's move on to the other one. When I find it back, I will ask it again. What lot size makes up a volume of 100,000 or US on US 100?
Okay, so you just have to find what is the price of US 100. It should be around 3,000 if not mistaken right now. So you have to trade around 33 lots, right? But let me go see what is the prices about this. So the whole idea is to find like the 100,000 lot is like how much is the current price, and then you have to divide 100,000 by that price, and you get the volume you need.
Okay, so meanwhile, I found the other questions, Aidan, which the user was asking before. When are you going to add weekly and monthly charts on tradingview.deriv.com?
So yeah, again, this is part of the renovation of the whole TradingView project, and we're going to be assessing all the features shortly. Anyway, they're under review basically.
Okay, moving on to the next one. I would like to know, as partners, are we only going to get commission from the trade in respect of clients we bring to the business, or we also receive commission when we trade too?
No, you only receive commission from the clients that you introduce to us. If you want to receive commission about your trades, then you have to be connected to another IB. Somebody has to introduce to you.
Okay.
So you don't get any commission from your trades, only from the trades your clients perform.
Next question is, what is the commission per round trade on EOS USD, and what is the volume required to get the maximum commission?
That's a good question. So, Agros, do you have the numbers available?
I don't have it in front of me, but I can tell you that we're going to release it soon to our website. The commission works the same way for all the pairs. Even it's like cryptos or forex, we're gonna share with you a matrix with the commissions. We're working on this right now. So because the price of EOS USD is less, is not so high, it means that you have to trade a lot of high volume in lots in order to achieve the commission for 100,000 USD. But this information we can share later.
Okay, so
just to supplement what Agros said, yeah, we are working on even examples on to show you how commission is calculated as well, which we'll be putting on the website shortly as well.
okay, how can I access the list of countries who are allowed to trade Deriv MT5 synthetic indices?
I mean, the synthetic indices are available for trading worldwide. So this is more of a marketing question than for the trading team. So I don't know, Federica, is this something that you provide to the IBs?
I can help a bit with this. Right? So we have like the synthetic account in USD and synthetic account in euros. Right? We have two different synthetic accounts. So whatever is in USD is for the rest of the world except for EU. So EU, the synthetic account is dominated in euro. But I think that our IBs can get clients. There is no restriction except for the forbidden countries like USD, Iran, Syria. Those countries are not included in the list of the countries we offer our services.
I think it would be more beneficial to give a list of countries that can't trade them as opposed to countries that can, because the list would be a lot shorter.
Okay. Okay, heading to the last questions. Not sure if we can answer this one, but is it a good time to start trading at the moment?
So yeah, I mean, just Agros would also say something about this. We're not financial advisors, so we're not going to tell you about how to trade and when to trade. But yeah, I mean, if you are interested in trading and you're looking to get your hands stuck into the world of trading, synthetic indices are a good place to start because they're not affected by any news or real world market events. So it's a good place to start, like on a flat platform where you can get used to all the features of MT5 and trade some range of instruments with low and high volatility. So there's, like I mentioned in the presentation, there's a range of asset classes to give you a different user experience depending on the asset class that you're trading.
Okay. Another question is, what can I trade with a financial STP account?
So the financial STP accounts has mostly FX pairs and cryptocurrencies. It has lower leverage compared to the financial account. It's 10 times less. But the advantage is that you have tighter spreads and higher volume limits.
Okay. When can I see the list of offered assets in my account?
Yes, so this can be seen. So if you're on the MT5 platform itself, you can see all the available assets from the Market Watch. So they might not all be available straight away. So you'd have to right click on the Market Watch and hit show all, and then all the symbols will come up that are available on your account.
You can select symbols from there, and you're gonna see a symbol list of everything inside the Market Watch. Both
similar logic for the mobile application. You have to go through and add the symbols in. If they're not actually there, you'd have to go and add them in from the symbols list.
Okay, I guess we still have a few minutes to answer other questions. When and how often are swaps charged for a position which pass the rollover?
So the swaps are charged every day at 12 GMT, at 0 GMT, 23:59 to be exact. And also we have like 3-day swaps for synthetics on Monday and for financial on Wednesday. So if your position is passing the rollover, you're gonna be charged the swaps.
Okay. And another user is asking, another attendee is asking, am I allowed to have more than one account for the same account type?
So the short answer to that is no. So we've got 3 different account types available for traders, and each individual trader is allowed to have 1 account per account type. So you're allowed to have 1 synthetic account, 1 financial account, and one financial STP account. So the maximum number of accounts that you can have is 3. Yeah.
However, recently we made a change and we do allow you to have multiple synthetic accounts. You can open accounts in different servers, like in Europe, Asia, and Africa.
Okay.
So synthetic accounts, you can have more than 1, but not for financials.
Another attendee is asking regarding our crash and boom indices. Are you the only broker offering this?
Yes, we are the only broker because we are the proprietary hub. We created these indices, and this is what we call synthetics. Whenever you see that it's synthetics, we only offer these products. I want to address one question I can see there, and it's important. I see that, do you have plans to stop charging swaps? For the financial account, I think we started around mid of January. We don't charge you swap for all the major pairs. For financial, for example, for Euro USD on the financial account, you don't get any swap charges. The same goes for USD JPY, what is considered as major pairs. It's important to know this thing.
Another question is, do EAS at some point expire and stop working? And for how long are they effective?
I can take that too. All right. So the expert advisor, if you go to MetaQuartz to MQL5 website, or if you go to your terminal and you check the markets, you see that for the expert advisor, you have the option to make one-time purchase, so you can read it. So if you have one time, if you purchase it for for the lifetime, so it never expires. But if you read it, then yeah, it's gonna expire after the reading period is over.
Okay, thank you, Aggelos. Maybe Aiden wants to take the next one. Why are you delaying introducing copy trading for both synthetic indices and forex pairs trading on your MT5 platform?
So I wouldn't say we're purposely delaying anything, right? So all these kind of projects and things that we're working on to make traders' lives easier or more social. These are all projects that are being worked on, and we're trying to bring them to you as quickly as possible. But obviously, we don't want to bring you something that isn't going to work as properly or as we expect. So we're making sure that everything is in line with our expectations before we bring it to our traders.
But to add on this, copy trading is available through signals. So somebody can follow a signal, but it has to be in contact with the signal provider. Then you can copy the trades from the one account to multiple other accounts. It's already in place. Copy trading is already in place through the MT5 signals.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Why IB clients are updated after 24 hours and it's not instant instead?
Probably mean IB commissions.
Yeah, IB clients probably referring to the IB commissions that are, yeah.
Aiden?
Yeah, so this is part of the daily process of our servers. So anything that happens throughout the day, so even for example, swap charges, as we mentioned earlier, these are processed all at the end of the day. So it's all just a question of the way we have our servers configured. And yeah, the IB commissions are also part of the end of day process of the server, and they get calculated and paid at the end of the day at 23:59 GMT.
Regarding swap accounts, do you have any plans to stop charging swaps?
This is the one I addressed previously. I said for the synthetics, we cannot remove the swaps for now. Yeah, we may do it in the future, but it's not yet something that we're sure about it. But for the major FX pairs, it's already swap free.
Will you get a license to operate in the US market at some point?
That's not something we're considering at the moment. I don't know if Agoros has anything to add to that, but I don't think there is.
No,
there is much to add.
It's a higher management decision, and as far as I'm concerned, there is not in our near future plans for now operating in the US.
I observed that your commission is very small as an affiliate compared to other brokers. This is also related to affiliate plans and commission. So the user wants to know why our commission plans are different.
So I think just to start off with, and Agoros can continue on what I'm saying. We believe that we offer a very generous IB commission structure. So the amount itself, if you look at the absolute value, so if you look at like 20 cents or 50 cents or whatever it is, it might not look that much. But as you may realize as well as the IBs and affiliates, your clients will turn over a lot more volume on certain indices such as the crash and boom indices. So even though the commission may seem small, it actually adds up as the traders trade higher volumes. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Agoros.
I guess we answered quite a few questions right now. So thank you everybody for taking the time to participate to our webinar. And we've just launched a poll now just to know more about what would you like to hear in our next live webinar. So please reply to the survey. You will also receive one via email at the end of this webinar. Thank you very much again, and we hope to see you soon in the next webinar. Thank you, everyone.